little bit before we get started. What's up with you, Scott? How you doing today, man? Man, family, I'm not really feeling it today. I'm just being real. And I don't know if I should say that or not. What's up with you, Scorpio lady, Loretta, Raymond? What's up with you guys? Not really. I'm tired. I'm tired. But I just want to get on. I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things real quick. What's up with you, Paul? Man, we're going to go ahead and get started. Man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, may God bless each and every one of you that come on and catch this on the live. For those of you that catch this on the replay, man, I hope and pray that man, God bless you as well and has his way in your life. Man, can you guys let me know if the volume's okay? I know that a couple people saying that it was staticky, it was breaking up yesterday. I don't know what that was about, and hopefully today is better. Family, man, intentional breathing, intentional breathing. Man, years ago, I saw this movie that I really liked. I haven't seen it in years. Thank you, Loretta. Thank you, Scott. 21 REP. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Man, cool. But I saw this movie years ago, Waiting to Exhale. Waiting to Exhale. And it's pretty much about a bunch of different women going through relationship issues and just their lot in life, you know what I mean? Just midlife crises and just man problems, just all kind of other stuff, right? And just how each of them was reacting and responding to their life situations. And the movie is Waiting to Exhale, and I never really understood why the title was Waiting to Exhale. But for some reason, that Waiting to Exhale has always stuck with me. Not the movie, but just that phrase, Waiting to Exhale. Waiting to Exhale. Family, what's up with you, Kate? You know, it's crazy how something as simple as breathing is so important, and yet we don't do it intentionally. Let me say it again. Something as important as breathing, and we take it for granted that we don't even know that we're breathing. Because it's just, you don't have to think about breathing. Your body just naturally breathes. Your lungs and your heart, all your bodily functions go into play into just you breathing. And so you're not even conscious of the fact that you're breathing. You're asleep and you're still breathing. It's nothing you're doing intentionally. You're not even thinking about breathing, and yet your body inhales and exhales. What does that got to do with anything? Right now, at this time in society, this time in the universe, we have to become intentional breathers. We have to be intentional with our breathing. What am I talking about? You have to be mindful of breathing. Being mindful of your breathing, you have a lot of people talking about, man, when you meditate, monitor your breathing, focus on your breathing. You could do a lot of things to meditate. One of the things that we have to do to lower the stress levels, one of the things that we have to learn how to do in order when we're facing fear and anxiety and stress and tension and worry and doubt and all these other different things that come into our lives that come up all day, every day. Whenever you're faced with any of those things, man, family, what I want you to do is just be mindful of your breathing. Man, if you guys will with me, man, we're gonna just take a quick breath real quick. You know, and when I breathe from my stomach, just because of martial art training and yoga and kung fu and all that other stuff, right? And so just take a deep breath through your nose and just hold it for a second and exhale it through your mouth. And as you breathe through your nose and you take this deep breath in, so I want you guys to think about, man, I'm breathing in the breath of life. I'm breathing in fresh oxygen. I'm breathing in fresh air. I'm changing my perspective. I'm getting connected to source. I'm breathing in universal love, universal consciousness. I'm breathing in God. I'm breathing in love. I'm breathing in hope. I'm breathing in joy. Why? Because we just breathe and we're not even aware of what we're breathing. We're not even aware that we're breathing. And so as you breathe this and take this deep breath, we're just going to, for a quick second with me, just go with me for a second, right? Man, just take this deep breath and just, as you breathe in, be mindful of what you're breathing in, whatever it is that you need. Whatever it is that you need at that time. If it's joy, breathe in joy. If it's patience, breathe in patience. If it's love, breathe in love. If it's comfort that you need, breathe in comfort. And as you exhale, be mindful, man, I'm exhaling, I'm releasing everything that had me worried. I'm releasing everything that had me stressed out. I'm releasing everything that had me doubting and angry and frustrated and nervous and, filled with tension. I'm releasing all of that out of me. Everything's energy. Everything is energy. And so breathe in everything that you need. Exhale all of that toxic energy that's making you anxious, all that toxic energy that's making you mad, all that toxic energy that's frustrating you, that's getting you on, all that toxic energy that is no longer serving your greater good, all that toxic energy that's making you believe that, man, this thing's about to go bad, you know what I mean? The wheel's about to fall off of this, or whatever it is that got you tripping, you know what I mean? Exhale that, release that. It's that simple. And sometimes you got to do it 3 or 4 times. Just take a deep breath, man, just. And release all of the garbage. And again, sometimes you're going to have to do that 3 or 4 times. Sometimes you're going to have to do that 5 times, right behind each other. And once you do it, and it's a trip, it don't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter where you're at. You're always breathing. You could be sitting on the bus. You could be sitting on the subway. You could be sitting on a train. You could be sitting on a plane. You could be sitting in a crowd. You could be anywhere. And be intentional with your breathing. And what that does when you're intentional with your breathing, man, that calms you down. As you're so excited and getting frustrated and you feel yourself getting tense and stressed and all, man, just breathe. Intentional breathing. It calms you down. It releases the stress. It changes your perspective. Intentional breathing is like, man, it's like that volcano that's getting ready to erupt. And so what happens is you got all that pressure building and building and building. And now you got a little smoke coming out of the volcano. And that smoke, man, that's a release. That's letting some of the tension go, so it doesn't just blow up. And the great majority of us, we don't know how to release that stress, that tension before we blow up. Something happened and it starts building up in us, building up. Something else happens and all this crap is building up. We get a crazy text message. We get a crazy phone call. Somebody cut us off. Our kids is making us late. We get all this crap going on inside of us and we don't know how to release. We don't know how to exhale. We're building up all this pressure. And then it's your kid, your mom, your dad, your love. Anybody can walk in and say the wrong thing do the wrong thing, and you completely blow up on them. They didn't deserve it. They didn't even do anything. It's just that that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because you had all this pressure built up in you for so long, and you never learned how to release the tension. You never learned how to release the pressure. And so now you blow up on this person, and they're standing there like, what the heck? All I did was ask you if you could cook some eggs. All I did was ask you if I could cook some eggs. All your kids asked you if they could go to their friend's house, and you snapped and lost it. We have to learn to release that pressure. And as you're starting to feel that pressure coming up in you, man, you ain't got to hold that. You don't have to hold on to all that negativity. You don't have to hold on to all those toxic thoughts and beliefs just because they come to you. You can learn to breathe and exhale because you're doing it naturally anyways. You're doing it without even being mindful of it. But it's not really benefiting you. Intentional breathing, man, that benefits you. That lowers your stress. That lowers your blood pressure. That calms the mind. That allows you the opportunity to shift your focus. Because as you release all of that stress, all that tension, it's like, okay, it gives me a chance to catch my breath. What I mean, it gives me a chance to calm down. It gives me a chance to look at the situation and to respond correctly, as opposed to just reacting out of stress, as opposed to reacting out of frustration, out of anger, out of fear. Because I'm practicing intentional breathing. That's giving me time to even decide if I need to respond. Because sometimes you don't even have to respond. Sometimes all you have to do is just release it. You know what I mean? Just exhale. Exhale. And as you exhale, man, let it go. Speaking it away. Say that to yourself in your head. Hear yourself saying, man, what's up with your training? I'm releasing all of this stress. I'm releasing the worry, the doubt, the fear, the animosity, the bit, whatever it is that you're holding on to, whatever it is that got you frustrated, whatever it is that got you to the point, it's like, okay, man, if I don't exhale, if I don't release this, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to snap. I'm going to blow it up. I'm blow up on somebody, whatever the case. Man, intentionally say that in your head. I'm releasing this. It's that simple. It's that simple. That can be grounding. That can be meditating. We get so spiritual in all these things. I love being out in nature. I love being around the trees and the birds and just the lakes and the turtles and just all those other different things. I love that. That's home to me. But when you're not there and when you're not in that environment, you still have to learn how to be able to meditate. You still have to be able to learn how to release and let it all go. You still have to be able to decompose. You still have to be able to just ground wherever you're at. Wherever you're at, you have to be able to just let that crap go. You don't have to be in nature to just, you can be anywhere. Anywhere. You don't have to be in your little meditation room with your music playing and your incense going and your sage lit. You don't have to have your candles going. That's great ambiance. Don't get it twisted. But you could be anywhere and do the exact same thing. Anywhere. Because it's a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's a state of being. When I was in California and I was working with these young people, and man, I would have them pushing this wheelbarrow, and they would have to push it a quarter of a mile downhill, down this dirt road. and then had to turn around once we got to the gate and push it back up the hill, right, to the containers. And I would have wood in there or water in it, right? And so depending on what they were doing, how bad they were acting or whatever the case may be, I'm having them push it several times, you know what I mean? And so I would bring them in the house. They're dog tired. They're dog tired from being out there, right? And so I would have them come in the house, and before they could get some water, sit down. Everybody sit on the floor right here. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Breathe. They're like, what are you talking about? Just take a deep breath. Let it go. Breathe in your nose. Exhale it through your mouth. Just do that several times. And I kid you not, within a matter of minutes, we're talking about teenagers, all of them was knocked out. Sleep. Why? Because they learned how to shut down their brain. They learned how to just let it go. They just finished working out, exercising hard. They're hungry, they're thirsty, but before they go stuff their face, before they get filled up with water and whatever it was that they want to drink, before they get stuff food and stuff down their mouth, sit down and exhale. Sit down and relax. Why? Because they're amped up right now. They're really amped up right now. And what I was showing them and talking to them is, I don't care what you go through. I don't care what you're dealing with. You're breathing anyways. Take a time out. If you could go to the bathroom and nobody's around you, man, go to the bathroom. Sit there on the toilet, whatever you want to do, and just let it go. Let it go. And watch how you begin to calm down. Watch how peace comes to your mind. Watch how you get to this state of balance. You're not stressed out. You're not worried. You're not angry like you was. You're not frustrated like you're not wigging out like you used to. Why? Because you intentionally released that energy, that frequency. You let it go. And so now you ain't got to clap back. You ain't got to get back and retaliate and all this other stupid stuff, immature stuff that we do. Because we haven't learned how to take a time out. We haven't learned how to decompose, how to breathe, how to exhale. You exhale all day, every day, all night, but it ain't really working for you. It hasn't changed your frequency. It hasn't changed your energy. It hasn't changed your state of mind. You start doing some deliberate or intentional breathing. That changes your frequency. That changes your state of mind. I talk so much about growing up. I talk so much about, man, we got to do better. I talk so much about just letting crap go. This is one of the easiest ways of letting stuff go. Because stuff comes to us all the time. Doubt, fear, concern, worry, all this stuff comes to us throughout the day. And no matter where you're at when it comes to you, you can exhale. You can let it go. Most of us, we lose our connection with Source, the Most High. Most of us, we could be at home and we could have on our music and, man, have our sage going, have our incense going, have our candles going, whatever. Bay leaves, I burn bay leaves also. It works almost like sage, just like sage, actually. And so you can do all these different things in the comfort of your own place and have all the peace you want when you're in the house or in your apartment or your studio. But as soon as you get out in the public, you have no control. As soon as you get out in the public and you're around all these people and you're dealing with these crazy people at work, you're in the public transportations or whatever it is, you're around all these other people. Now you don't know how to meditate. Now you don't know how to exhale. Now you don't know how to get back in alignment because you're out of your comfort zone. You're out of the area where you can control your environment. And so you have to learn to exhale. You have to replace all of that tension, all that stress, all that doubt, anger, fear, whatever you're dealing. You have to release that and backfill it or fill it with love and peace and joy, whatever it is that you're looking for. Whatever it is that you need at that particular time, that's what you need to be breathing in. That's what you breathe in. And everything that you don't want, you intentionally released it. Man, I'm letting go of all this doubt. I'm letting go of all my concerns, all my fears about the job, about my paycheck, about my love life, about my kids, about whatever it is you're thinking about, whatever it is you're worried about. You can't control that shit anyways. All you're doing is frustrating yourself. All you're doing is putting yourself on a low frequency by doubting and worrying about this crap that you cannot control. Learn to let that crap go. Speak it out of you. Speak love and everything else in its place. You are responsible for your state of mind. You are responsible for your state of mind. If you don't have joy, man, that's nobody else's fault. If you don't have peace, that's nobody else's fault. If you're doubting and worried and all this, man, that's nobody else's fault. If you're full of anger because of what you got, man, that's nobody's fault but yours. That's yours. You can release that crap, or you can hold on to all that negative toxicity. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. But I have so many people asking and talking about, man, how do you just let it go? Man, how do you get peace? Man, I don't have any peace. I don't have any joy. Man, I'm just so stressed out. I'm so frustrated. I'm so full of worry and concern and doubt and all this crap is going on in the world. And, well, man, you can't control that shit. Why are you tripping on it? Family, and we talked about this maybe a week ago. When you start focusing all this negativity stuff, man, you shut down your immune system. You shut down your immune system with all of that unnecessary stress, with all of that anger, with all of that worry and all. Man, you're killing yourself from the inside out. You're responsible for your growth and development. You're responsible for your spiritual health. You're responsible for your emotional health. Let that crap go. Learn to intentional breathe. I promise you, it'll change your life. I promise you, it'll calm you down. So many of you, you're so high-strung right now. You're a nervous freaking wreck because you haven't learned how to exhale and to release that. And so you hold that energy all day, every day. And you wonder why you're so emotionally drained. And you wonder why you're so physically tired. And you wonder why, man, how come I just can't have peace? How come I just can't have love? How come I just can't have joy? Because you're holding on to all of that negative crap. And that's on a different frequency. It's a totally different frequency. You can have all the joy you want. You can have all the peace you want. You can have all of the chaos and drama you want. The choice is yours. It's always been yours. As long as you're stressed out, as long as you're filled with all this negative energy, you'll never be able to reach your full potential. You'll never be able to walk in your authority. You'll never be able to manifest all the things you want in life. Because there's a universal law that says what you think about. I'll say it again. The law of attraction. What you think about, you bring about. So if all you're thinking about is stress and chaos and problems and issues and why you're so pissed off and why you're so angry and if that's all you're thinking about, that's what you're manifesting in your life. If you think about all the stuff that could go wrong, that's what you're manifesting in your life. It may not be what you want to manifest in your life, but that's what you're manifesting in your life. If you want peace, you have to think about peace. If you want joy, you have to think about joy. You have to put yourself on those frequencies. If you get up in the morning and you're thinking, dang, I'm tired, I'm dragging, I don't feel like this shit, I don't feel like going into work today, fuck these people, man, I'm not dealing with this shit, blah, blah. If that's the frequency you put yourself on, and as soon as you get up in the morning, your whole day is going to be like that until you take responsibility for your life and change your frequency. But if that's all you're thinking about, man, your whole day going to work is going to be hell. Your whole day at work is going to be hell. You're going to come home, beat the hell up, tired, exhausted. Because that's what you've been thinking about all day. What you think about, you bring about. Again, so when you start feeling this stuff rise up in you, this stress, this tension, man, I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills. That's normal. What am I, stay with me. Man, if you don't have enough money to pay the bills, that's a legitimate concern. But what is not legitimate is you focus and being fixated on that concern all the time. I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills. I don't know where I'm going to get the money to pay this cell phone bill at. Okay. It is what it is. God, source, I need the money to pay this bill. Boom. I'm going to have the money to pay this bill. The problem for the most of us, we want to be control freaks. We want to dictate how the money comes to us. We want to control how the problem gets resolved. Instead of us releasing it to source, instead of us releasing it to the universe and allowing the universe to work on our behalf, allowing God to work on our behalf. We want to control and dictate how God blesses us with the money. So we're sitting there thinking about, oh, so-and-so gonna do this, so-and-so did this, and then we're thinking about all this crap instead of just letting it go. Source, God knows you need the money to pay this bill. You're doing all that you can do. You are legitimately doing everything you could do. Everything else, man, let it go. You need it, man. I'm manifesting the means to be able to do this stuff. I'm letting it go. I'm trusting that source, universe, the Most High is going to bring means into my life to be able to handle this. Whether that means I find $100 bill, a lot of us have found money before. Whether somebody comes to you that owe you money that you forgot about, whether somebody come to you just out of the blue, man, something to just put it on my heart just to give this to you. I've had all those things happen to me. I've had people just walk up to me and just, man, God just told me to bless you with this. I was needing gas to get to church one night. I was taking my two kids. I was a single parent, and going down Pacific Avenue in LA, I see out of my peripheral money flying in the air. Don't know how I saw it, but I was in alignment. I had let the fear, the concern go. Pulled over to the side of the road, opened up the door. As soon as I stood up, the wind shifted and blew it right back to my foot. $20 bill. This is back in 96. I believe gas was like 90 something cents a gallon. So I was able to put $10 in gas in my Honda car, half a tank, and still had money to take my kids to get them something to eat. Didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I just put myself, man, God, I need this. And just let it go. Exhale, let it go. Understand, man, it's gonna happen. You know better than I do that this is what I need. Why am I stressing over this? I'm stressing over this because I got this control freak nature to where I'm trying to micromanage how I get this handled instead of trusting that it's going to get handled. And as long as I'm stressing over it, I'm bringing more stress into my life. I'm manifesting more stress into my life. Learn to exhale. Learn to release it. And watch how the universe, how God, the Most High, bless you with the peace you want, the joy you want. I don't care what your situation is. It doesn't matter what your situation is. You could be facing eviction. You could be facing getting booted out the house, by apartment, whatever you at. You could be facing losing your job, being downside. You could be facing anything. Everything. It don't matter. It don't matter what you're dealing with. It's all the same. It's all the same. The situation isn't the problem. The problem is, how do we respond to it? The great majority, we respond to the issue, we respond to the problem by focusing on the problem. And so now the problem was just a thought. And now because we thought about it so much, we blew it up into this freaking giant mountain. We made a big deal out of it instead of just releasing it and going on with our lives. Continuing on with that high frequency. When you stay on that high frequency, that's the frequency of God. That's the frequency of source. That's the frequency of love. And so now they can bless you with the things that you need because you're on that frequency to receive it. Because doubt, anger, fear, all that, man, that lowers your frequency. That disconnects you from source. That disconnects you from receiving your blessings. That disconnects you from receiving the things that universe, source, God, whatever you want to call them, has in store for you. Because you're so full of fear, you're so full of concern and doubt and anger and anxiety and worry and all this other stuff. So you can't hear from God. You can't receive the blessings that are in line for you. That's waiting for you. Because you're not on the right frequency. Because you've allowed all this other stuff to get you so frustrated, so discombobulated that you got disconnected. We have to learn to just let it all go. Let it all go and smile, knowing that, man, it's all good. It's all good. I just breathed in all this fresh oxygen. I just breathed in this fresh life. I just breathed in all this love, all this joy, all this peace. And all my anger, all my fears, all my doubts, all my issues, concerns, I just released them into the universe. It's no longer my problem. As long as I hold it within me, it's my problem. Once I release it, it's no longer my problem. And it's really no longer my concern. Because I know that it's all going to work out. It's all good. I'm going to get the things that I need. Man, family, exhale. Exhale. Intentional exhale. Intentional exhaling. Intentional breathing. So many of us, we're breathing in all this toxic crap because that's the frequency we continue to stay on. We're breathing in the fumes and the fire and the smoke and all this chaos and this trauma and all these hellish situations. And we're giving life to all of those things. Because that's where our attention is going. That's where our energy is going. And so we're breathing life into all those issues. How do you rob something of its life? You take your energy from it. You take the energy from it. You deprive it of energy. You deprive it of energy. If I don't want to trip out on this issue, man, I'm going to stop focusing on it. I'm going to stop tripping about it. I'm going to stop thinking about it. Which means I have to release it. I have to release it. What you think about, you bring about. Your energy flows where your attention goes. So if all your energy is going into toxic stuff, how can you be high vibrating? How can you be on a frequency of love and joy and peace when all of your energy and attention is going to negative stuff? Man, family, this is not going to be long. This is it. You know what I mean? This is it. We have to learn to breathe. We have to learn to stop taking these things for granted. The great majority of humanity walks around and takes breathing for granted. And you really don't think about your breathing unless you're underwater and you got to breathe and you're running short of air. You know what I mean? Or you're in a fire or you're in some smoke-filled area and your breathing is missed short. Or you just exercise and you can't catch your breath. But the great majority of us, man, we don't think about our breathing. We take breathing for granted. You don't even have to think about it and you just do it. And so you don't really appreciate your breath. You don't really appreciate or understand the significance of exhaling. Man, learn how to intentionally breathe. Learn how to exhale. And raise your frequency. Get connected or stay connected to Source, to the Most High, to infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite knowledge. Stop disconnecting from your greatest source of energy, your greatest source of power and knowledge and wisdom. Man, I love you, family. I hope and pray that something was shared on this video. We have a long way to go. You know what I mean? We have a long way to go. And man, my hope and prayer is that we get back to the basics. We get back to the basics. And nothing is more basic than breathing. Nothing is more basic than exhaling and inhaling. What are you inhaling? What are you breathing? What are you consuming? And what are you releasing? Man, I love you guys. My queen and I love you guys. If there's any topic that you guys want us to talk about, man, shoot a message in the live on any day, you know what I mean? Or come back in the regular YouTube replay and just drop a comment in there of what you want us to talk about. And we'll see what we could do in regards to that. If you want certain prayer requests, and drop a comment in there as well on the live or on the replay. And if it's something real serious that you don't want everybody to hear about or know about, man, just shoot me an email. You know what I mean? ElijahAmmi@gmail.com. It's in the description. Man, we love you guys. We'll be back on tomorrow evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Happy healing. Peace.